Hi, today I'd like to discuss with you the importance of keeping dogs and puppies safe when you're not home, but as well as when you are home. As a veterinary technician for 14 and a half years, I've had a lot of clients ask me, how do I keep them safe when I'm unable to watch them, whether I'm home or not? Our veterinarians recommend first and foremost when you are not home that you use a crate. The reason for using a crate would be to keep them from getting into mischief, to protect them from hurting themselves by like eating a wire or getting medication or eating something they shouldn't and swallowing it and getting what's called a foreign body, as well as to make your experience with them more pleasurable. And nobody wants to come home to a destroyed home. If you know that they've been in a crate and they're protected and they're not near a wall or anything that they can get a hold of and chew, it's a better experience for everybody to come home, and maybe you might have an accident to clean up, but at least you're not having to worry that they ate something or they chewed something or your house is destroyed. Today I'm going to show you a small crate. However, small crates are not the only size. They come large as well. I've had them up to Great Dane size, which for most of us that know anything about dogs, we know Great Danes are 200 pounds easy. They come as mesh, which is more for smaller dogs, but they also come as wire, which is what you'll see the most. I'm going to show you a wire one. This one is collapsible. It is small. It's for our puppy. She's only about 10 pounds. She's like 9 months old. She's not going to get any bigger, but you can see it collapses pretty small. What's nice about them is they're not really that hard to open up. Make sure you follow directions unless you're used to them and you've had them for a while. You want to make sure that they're not going to collapse because they're not put together properly. You want it to be put together properly to make sure that not only are they keeping the puppy in, but they're not going to injure the puppy if they do happen to collapse. So you saw that didn't take very long. It's put together. Wire crates do come with a plastic bottom, which does come out. This is for convenience of cleaning them. That way if your puppy or your dog has an accident, it's easy to clean. This one has a sliding lock, which is a safety feature to make sure they can't get it open. This one sticks a little bit, which I'm okay with because she's a pretty smart little girl and she would probably try to get out. So this is a wire one. Like I said, they do come much larger. I have another one that is big enough to fit 2 boxers in if need be. We use them when we're not home and we're at work. Some people also use them when they're asleep. The biggest concern I've heard from clients is that they feel bad because their dog was a rescue and they don't want to keep them in a cage. I personally would still do it. I wouldn't do it all the time. I would do it when I'm not home for safety reasons, just because you don't want them to destroy your house. I've seen way too many dogs have to be given back to rescue situations or given back to the SPCA because they've destroyed the person's house and they're just at their wit's end and there's nothing else they can do about it. So crate training is wonderful. We love it. When we are home and we are unable to watch our dogs, especially puppies, but there are some older dogs that get into mischief when they're not being watched. I have a couple of them myself. When we're asleep at night, they like to do what I call counter surfing. That's why we keep them completely cleaned off. I recommend for smaller dogs, you can use a pack and play. It's cheap, it's not super expensive. It's easy. It can be put away if need be. This one stays up all the time. We have a 5-pound Chihuahua who likes to use this as his bedroom. He has toys in it. You can see he's got a bed in it. He puts himself in it because we keep it next to the couch, so he'll get on the couch arm and then he'll jump into it himself and you'll find him in there whenever. This is nice. It keeps them out of danger from other larger dogs even. It keeps them out of trouble because they're not chewing things and such. And it's this little safe house. There's also a little bit more expensive. They're called plate. It's like a plate knit. It's a pin that you put them in. This one is collapsible. This one is large. This one is made for our boxers. We bought this when we were going camping because we didn't want to have to keep them on a leash at all times. You can see it opens up to be pretty big. We keep this one set up in the house. We just kind of collapse it down a little bit to make it smaller. We use this for our puppy when we can't watch her, but it clips here and here. I don't have the clips right now, just for safety for purposes of doing this. Opens up. There's a door they can walk in. If you're using this in the house, you can, like I said, make it small. You can make it big if you're going to use it outside the house. We put the puppy in here when we can't watch her, or if she didn't do potties outside with toys and things, so that she doesn't get bored. Collapses pretty quickly, which is nice. It's pretty lightweight. My children, my 10-year-old can even pick it up if I need him to. And then you can keep it wherever you want to. That's nice because it keeps her from getting into mischief. It is a little more expensive than using a pack and play. However, that dog can actually jump out of the pack and play, so she doesn't get to be in that. I think that one is a larger one. It costs us around $100. So, I mean, considering it's going to save her from chewing my area rugs, chewing wires, getting in the garbage, things like that when we can't watch her, it's a pretty good investment. Next, to keep them out of rooms you don't want them in, I recommend using baby gates. They do have specific dog gates that you can buy. I think they're a little overpriced for doing the exact same thing as a children's baby gate. So I would recommend maybe measuring and looking online and seeing what your other options are before you buy the dog ones. This is obviously one of the cheaper ones. It's wood. It's not real easy to keep clean. I wouldn't recommend it for a large dog because they're just going to mow right over it if they want to. They'll knock it right down. The plastic's, kind of thin, but we use it if we need it. We also have another one. I use this one all the time. It's a little bit more heavy duty. It's the thicker white plastic. It expands. It's easier to clean. I use this one to lock the dogs out onto the back porch and to the lanai area while I'm mopping. It's real handy, real quick to put up, keeps them out of my way. Floor's dry, take it down, they're right in. Not a big deal. If you have an area of your house that you would like to keep them out of that has a hallway or like a doorway or an entranceway into a hallway, and you want something a little bit more stationary, something that doesn't move, they have stationary ones. They sell them for dogs, but they also sell them for children. We bought this one. It's got an extender on it because our entryway was a little bit bigger. We actually just recently took it down. What's nice is you can walk through, so you don't have that having to step over a baby gate. It's kind of dangerous. It's not something you recommend for people. You don't want anybody to fall, get stuck on it, and fall over. So this is a little nicer. The only trick is learning how to unlock it since it is a baby gate. It does have a part where you squeeze and push and pull, and so once you get used to that, you're okay. It can tighten to make it fit where it should. We used this for probably about 2 years. It's still in pretty good condition. It's easy to clean, kept the dogs out of the kids' rooms. This is what I would recommend if you have an area where you don't want the dogs to go into. Keeps them safe from eating toys and getting foreign bodies and things like that. So for dog safety in the home, keeping them safe in the home whether you're there or not, we recommend crates for when you're not. Some dogs will actually go in a crate. They think of it as their bedroom even when you are home. It's their safe place. It's okay. Exercise pens or play pens are wonderful to keep them out of trouble, but to give them a little bit more space so they don't feel so confined. You can give them treats in there. You can give them water if it's outside. Usually if you're going to have it outside, I say make sure you're out there like doing gardening work. Don't just put them outside in it and then leave them. You want to make sure that there's no snakes or anything like that outside that are going to get them. So you really still want to be kind of close. You're just not watching them the whole time. Like I said, we use them in the house. And then to keep them out of areas they're not allowed to be in, definitely recommend baby gates. More stationary one is great for, like I said, the kids areas. You want to make sure that your puppy and your dog aren't getting in there, eating their toys, the kids' toys, and getting what's called a foreign body or anything like that. Thank you.